Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about my favourite 3 MMORPGs. Now, I have played my fair share of MMORPGs. I played WoW about the time Tracy Beaker was still a thing, so that tells you how long ago that was. So I want to find something, a new WoW, if you will. Not a new WoW, that sounds bad. A new MMO, okay? Because WoW is losing popularity, it's still very popular. But people are looking for the next big thing, or maybe just something better. And these are the options that I've come up with. So, I've got a list of 3, and they're in no order. I'm going to explain what they're best at, each of them. First off, the best world, and I'm giving that to Archeage. Now, a lot of people may be anti-Archeage for reasons. Like recently there's been some claims that Trion, those are the people who published Archeage or developed it, maybe both? No, just me? I don't know. But they've been sort of making a bit more pay-to-win-y than people wanted to. There always was the expectation with Archeage that you might want to pay. I never did, but basically there are these sort of points that you have, and you can spend them to sort of mine or build a house or whatever. Now these points aren't useful for any of the main things that you're going to do. So any of your like questing and leveling up and killing stuff and all the expected stuff, you don't need points for that. It's the sort of added bonuses like, oh, you want to farm and mine. Well, for that you need the points. Now anyone gets these points. It's just that people with the membership can like build a bed, and then with the bed they can get them back quicker, so they can have an advantage on that front. So there's that. And recently there's been some claims that they sort of like, it's like the Wall Street crash, like they added an item and that crashed the market or something. I'd stopped playing by then, so I wasn't 100% sure what that was all about. But I mean, that's a beef, something that some people have. It never affected me though, and I loved Archeage because of these reasons. First of all, have you ever done a trade run? Like seriously, I say best world just because I mean, like the main quest is okay, right? You go around, you kill things. It's just like World of Warcraft. It's just like Rift. It's just like all the other ones. You go around, you kill stuff, you level up. But for me, it's almost like you do that so you have the gold to buy things from a trader that you can then put in a wheelbarrow and wheel it across the lands. People are, you go past people, give you a wave, you say, hey, it's Farmer Joe taking the carrots up to Upton City. And it's, you have good banter. And it is great. You see people all the time just walking along, getting their carrots from one trader to the next, because like you get more money the further from the original trader you sell your stuff. So some people go hardcore and they're going from top of the map to bottom on like horses and stuff. It's crazy. As well as that, you've got all your crafting. Crafting is really in depth, as well as the farming. And they actually have a legal system. So you're supposed to farm in a plot, like a set plot. But if you farm outside of that, in illegal farming, if you're caught, you have to go to you have to go to court. If you're caught, you have to go to court. And there's a jury there, and you're talking like, oh, I didn't mean to. You can see it on the side chat. People are like, no, I didn't do it, man. I'm telling you. That's pretty funny. There's all the building houses and gliders. Holy smokes! You can glide around on freaking. You can get a sloth one, I think, that you put on your back and you fly with the sloth. Already I've sold you on that. And it is beautiful. It is probably the best graphics I've ever seen in an MMO. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying out of the ones I've played. Okay, so I know there are some like Final Fantasy ones and like Terra or something that people will say is better, but I thought it was pretty crazy looking. So yeah, that is Archeage. I know I didn't touch on the combat is solid. It's just like any other MMO you've played. The quest line is there are fetch quests. You're going to be doing a hell of a lot of fetch quests. But I mean, that's just not what it's about for me. It's just not about the questing. If you want a game that you're going to get into questing, first of all, you don't want an MMO. You want to play Skyrim. Second of all, it's not a selling point. It's about getting in a guild with 30 people, getting on a legion of boats, and just carrying your supplies from one continent to the other to sell it on like the little offshore trader that's like just inside the enemy's territory. Which is another thing. You can go to the enemy's territory. There's no level cap, I don't believe. Was there? No, I don't think there is. So you just go into the enemy's territory, and of course they can kill you. There's lots of fights. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that was Archeage. Link in the description to the website if you want to read more about it. And yeah, I hope if you have any other points to make about Archeage, maybe you've discovered a crazy reason why no one should play it, or maybe you've discovered why it's the best MMO in town. Leave a comment down below. Okay, so the next nomination goes to Best All-Rounder, which I'm giving to Rift. And this is a pretty popular opinion that Rift is pretty much the best Rift. The best Rift. It's pretty good at being Rift. But also, people give it the medal of Best WoW Clone. Now, hold your horses. When I say WoW Clone, I'm not giving that a negative thing, because WoW was pretty good for what it did. Rift copies it, and it makes it better in every way. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So it's what you're expecting, but everything's sort of just polished. Now I'm gonna do what I did with Archeage. I'm gonna do my beefs with it first. First of all, it's not fantastic in any aspect. I was never playing it. I was like, holy smokes, this is the best thing ever. It's good. It's alright. You know, well, I mean, obviously it's good, otherwise I wouldn't play it. But you get what I mean. Second of all, we've seen it all before. It is a WoW clone. It is not doing anything new particularly. I mean, it does some things new, but it's old stuff, man. It's old beef. Mixed opinions on the end game are present. Some people will tell you that it's solid, it's good. There's lots of dungeons to muck around in once you've done all the main quests and things. Some people will say it's not so good. I suppose you're going to have to play it, grind to level 50, and then decide if you're up for it or not. Now, the great things about it, the combat. I mean, seriously, that's not even its like advertising point. Hardly anyone ever says the combat in Rift is so good, but I love it because if you play a melee person, you don't have a mana bar. So usually, even if you're swinging with an axe, for some reason you have a freaking mana bar. Why? I suppose they tell you it's like stamina, but seriously, in this you have points. So let's say I have it's called a builder. So let's say I prod you with my axe. Okay, it gives me a point. It's like a combat point. I prod you again. It gives me another one. And again, I've now got 3. I do it 2 more times. Right, I've now got 5 combat points. Okay, and each one of those was like a hotkey move. Right now, I spend 2 of those combat points to stun you. And then I use 3 of those to do a massive attack and hit you. Isn't that just so satisfying? Like, you gain points, you spend them, and that means you have to come up with crazy combos like, oh yeah, I'll do this to gain 7, then I'll do this to lose 4, do this to gain 3, and this to spend 6. And that, my friend, was some pretty fast subtraction, if you didn't notice. But yeah, I love it for that. Dungeoneering, I did do some of, and I actually thought it was fun. It was really fun. Just that sort of running through, Leroy Jenkinsing it, and having a good time. Questline, I did find uninteresting. I don't know why I'm putting this in the good stuff, but it's in there, so I'm saying it. Yeah, it was the only one of the 3 that I didn't read any of the questline for, and that's pretty much it. It's the best all-rounder. If you want a WoW clone, if you want something that's going to be solid and you can jump into, do all the standard MMO things, then Rift is probably the one for you. You know, if you heard me talking about Archeage and you thought that just sounds like Farmville with swords, and I'm not up for that. I mean, Farmville with swords sounds pretty cool, but still, if that's what you're thinking, then Rift, link in the description, read more about it. The next is most different, and you may be saying, that sounds like a bad denominator. Well, it goes to WildStar anyway, and by most different, I mean, when I was talking to you about Rift and saying this is a WoW clone, it does all the things the same. This is the one that takes all the expectations that its dad has, and he says he wants you to go to college, he wants him to come back and work on the mill, and he's like, no dad, I want to be a spaceman, I don't care what you say. And yeah, so it doesn't do all the WoW stuff, it basically just turns everything on its head, or at least tries to. And I think it's great. I honestly think it's the one that if an alien landed there, I'm pointing outside now, I'm pointing to my window. If an alien landed there and pointed his ray gun at me and said, you must play an MMO for the rest of your life, I would probably say, WildStar, because I've played a lot of MMOs, and WildStar just is so different and weird, and there's always something funny. It's always got a trick up its sleeve. So yeah, really different, which it is a selling point in this MMO industry where everyone is trying to copy everyone, and it's like, God, what happened? What happened to you guys? Come on, man. Step up your game. The combat is one of the most... Yeah, I'm saying things are different, and I'm not giving you examples. Here's an example, the combat. So instead of all the other MMOs where you point at a target and press a button and it does that thing to it, WildStar instead, it's like everything is AoE. So if I pressed freaking fire death, flame death. If I press flame death, instead of targeting you and pressing flame death and like it just pings at you and you get hit no matter what, a little target will be drawn on the ground, which if you're standing in, after the timer's gone, you get hurt. So that means when you're running around fighting like 4 NPCs at the same time, there's loads of symbols on the ground, all with their little timers going off, and you have to move around like, oh no, dodge here, land here, oh, and I'm going to use this move, oh, I don't want to stand in this bit, and it's crazy. You have to actually be watching it. I don't know, right? You can't get a macro because it just doesn't work like that. Amazing. I can't believe I actually got a program to play a game for me, which I did do that with Archeage and Rift. Whatever. So yeah, that is one of the reasons. And it is built for the end game. You know, if you're really thinking I want a strong end game, these guys have got you covered. It is built for the end game, I'm telling you. Some people might not like the end game. Now that's something, but there's stuff, there's content waiting for you to do, and that's always good. Graphics point of view, it's cartoonish, which some people may not rate. They want to have something like photorealistic. But I would say it's lovable. I would honestly say it's lovable. In a way that, you know, you see the characters and you're like, oh, that's cute, man. And they can do fun stuff with it. Instead of being tied to, like the other games where they're tied to realism, these guys, there was like a freaking tree demon. There was a tree demon. And I had to save his ass. I don't know why. It's crazy. See, and I actually remember the storyline. That's the other thing. The storyline in this is good. This is the only one that I would be able to recall details of the storyline because it was so good. So interesting. So yeah, I would say you should watch it. You should watch this video once forwards, right? Then watch it backwards, and then watch each one individually in random orders, because that's the thing, isn't it? The last one you hear about is always the one you want to play. So you're probably all thinking WildStar's the one for me right now. Saying that might not be true at all. That might not be true. Which one would I say to play? Honestly, it depends what you want. It depends what you want. So I've given you the categories: best world, best all-rounder, most different. I mean, if you're new to MMOs, like when someone told me, "Oh, WildStar's really different," like a while back, "Oh, it's going to be coming out, it's changing everything," I was like, I don't care. I'm new to MMOs. I don't want something different. I want something the same as WoW because I've never really got into WoW that much, or at least in a long time. So yeah, those are my top 3 free MMOs. Now you're probably ready to leap down into the comments and tell me why I'm wrong, and why whichever MMO you play or want to play is the best. And I would suggest to do that. Definitely do that. Jump down in the comments, tell me why I'm wrong. Be nice about it, otherwise I will delete your comment because I can't do that. It's amazing. But yeah, be nice, have fun, and help each other out. Let each other know, because I mean, there's specific cases. You know, maybe you have like one leg, and your auntie is Australian and you're allergic to cats. You're going to have a different MMO preference to someone who to Barack Obama. It's just how it is, man. It's just how this world works. So help each other out, let each other know what's going on. And yeah, obviously also, yeah, I didn't mention like loads of MMOs. So let me know, because seriously, if you have I'm hearing things about Terra now. Terra sounds really good. If you have any MMOs that you think I should play, think I should get my hands on, maybe I'll come back and do this again. So yeah, thanks for watching.